What? Sorry?
How do I pronounce your name? Gaddiel?
Gaddiel.
Gaddiel.
Yeah.
Pleased to
But
meet you.
everybody calls me Gaddi.
Gaddi. Oh, pleased to
Yeah.
meet you, Gaddi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Where are you in at the moment?
In a city just outside Tel Aviv. It's called Ramat Gan. It's
Yeah.
like a suburb of Tel Aviv, but it's actually really on the border. Like it's really 5 minutes into Tel Aviv.
Oh, I
So
see. Okay.
and
Ha-
basically it's Tel Aviv.
Okay. So have you been there during the whole lockdown time?
The what?
Uh,
Oh
y-
no, we just moved. We actually first half we were in Jerusalem,
Yeah.
um, and then we moved out
Oh,
during the
okay.
summer.
So you made the move during the whole pandemic.
Well, yeah, in between lockdowns. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, in
Cool.
August. So we've
Yeah.
been here for 6 months already. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How was it to do a move like that in this time?
Oh, the move was actually no, it was fine. The move
Mm,
was fine. We wanted for a long time to move out from Jerusalem.
mm,
We were looking for some opportunities, and when they stopped the lockdown, I think it was in May or something like
yeah.
that. So we started to look, and we found something to move in August. And actually, just a few weeks later, there was another lockdown starting. So we moved out really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
in
in time.
September. Yeah, in
Mm,
September or something, they started a new lockdown. So
yeah.
we moved just in time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you say the lockdown you were in the first lockdown, you were in Jerusalem. So,
Yeah.
and that started in May, you said.
No, the first lockdown started in, I would say for Passover. I think it was for Passover.
Okay.
So it was in April. It was
Yeah.
around a month and a half,
Okay.
and then it was, I guess, until September for the New Year holidays.
Mm.
So it's almost all the time around the holidays. And now
Oh,
we
okay.
just came out from another lockdown. It's the third one,
Mm.
which started around New Year until around a week ago. So it was also a month and a half.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how did you feel that first in that first lockdown? Um, did
Well,
you
in that first
realize
lockdown,
what? Yeah. Mm.
yeah, this one was the worst because everything got canceled. And actually, I had a concert in March
Mm.
in Lviv,
Mm.
with the Lviv Symphony Orchestra, and it got cancelled like maybe a week or 2 weeks before, because Ukraine was also getting really sick and a lot
Mm.
of cases, and all the concerts was getting cancelled. So that was actually the part where everything got cancelled. All
Mm.
the concerts in Ukraine, the festivals in Italy, um, yeah. So that was, and the competitions I was supposed to go to in Romania, Bulgaria also something.
Mm.
Can't remember which one now. Yeah, that was really the worst. And we actually, I mean, yeah, it was very easy to get into a kind of a little depression of,
Mm.
yeah, everything got canceled.
And what did you do then? Did you realize that, or did you think it was going to be just a few weeks and then all will be okay again?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It was kind of hard to know, but I mean, I'm an optimistic guy, but
Mm.
we did hope, like everybody was saying, by the summer it's going to be okay because it's only a winter, you know,
Mm.
it's only going for the winter. So we said, oh, okay, so the festivals are going to happen, so it's going to be okay. But then I was following like Lucerne and Aspen, everybody was canceling for the summer. And
Mm.
then it was like, well, summer is gone apparently. If the big ones are going and
Yeah.
they're not going to do anything. Verbier, Lucerne, everybody was canceling.
Mm. So
It
what
was
did
around
you
May, I think.
so what
Yeah.
did you do in that time? Did you decide to just take it easy or did you work on
So
things?
actually, what I did is practice a lot. Well, I
Mm.
really stayed in front of the piano for more than 5, 6 hours
Mm.
a day. I made myself learn a new language. I finished my Ukraine.
Oh,
Ukrainian.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, now and I finished Spanish as well.
Mm.
That was also fun. I mean, you have to find stuff to get busy with.
Yeah.
I did for myself for a few months. And it didn't. I mean, at some point I just left it, but I did for myself a weekly listening list of symphonies, operas, chamber music, piano, everything that I didn't think I knew. So I just made a weekly list for myself to listen to, follow with the score, etc., to just
Mm.
get to know more music, and and that's pretty much it. I mean, at some point, there are as much hours you can fill in the day, 6 hours
Yeah.
of piano, and then maybe 1 or 2 hours of listening to music, and I mean, and that's pretty much it. And then there are a few hours of just watching TV, watching news, and
Mm.
talking with friends.
But how did you stay motivated to do that? Was there a point also where you just thought, I cannot
Yeah,
anymore?
there were days I was like, what am I doing this for? This is not.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were some days I was a little bit not motivated, not so much motivated.
Mm.
Um, but it's just I really tried. It was not easy, but you have to get in some kind of routine.
Mm.
So for the first few months, and a little bit less now, but until at least until we moved in August, I was waking up at a certain time every day and doing the same routine, like um, languages in the morning, after breakfast, of course, languages, and then a few hours of piano until lunch, and then it's the same
Yeah.
order all the time.
Yeah.
It was really important for me.
Mm.
Otherwise, I would get really lost. And
Mm.
time to go out a little bit. Um, you know, and just it was otherwise you just if you don't have
Yeah.
a program for yourself, you don't have a plan
Yeah.
of what you're gonna do. And a lot of people told me it was a great, as the first few weeks you were not really sure what's gonna happen. So first few weeks it was a bit of a mess, but then you understand that that's gonna stand for a while, or at least
Mm.
until the next season.
Mm.
Nothing is gonna happen, so you have to do something until at least September.
Yeah.
So yeah, you make a plan and you start to get into a routine.
Are you connected to an orchestra, or are you just freelance? So you just work with
I
different
mostly,
orchestras?
yeah, I'm mostly freelance.
Mm.
Mostly freelance. I do have a few connections with orchestras, especially one in China that we were
Mm.
supposed to go on a tour in December, and we
Mm.
were still talking about it in November, but then just flights to China were impossible, and all
Okay.
the quarantines before getting back. So we
Mm.
just left it. So, but apart from yeah, orchestra in China, a few in Ukraine,
Mm.
um, two festivals in Italy, and one in Varna, in opera house in
Okay. And do you have contact with musicians so that you sort of support
everywhere.
each other? You do. Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere,
Mm.
everywhere. I mean, I studied in the U.S.
Mm.
My master was in Cleveland, so I have a lot of friends from the U.S. now. Also, I'm studying Israel, and from traveling, you get people from everywhere. I see everything that goes on, mostly in
Mm.
France, because I'm French, so I have a lot of connections there. But Ukraine, Bulgaria, China,
Mm.
yeah, it
But
seems
do you
very.
did you have like conversations with them? Did you make a point to talk to them or to find out how they experience it?
So yeah, a lot of friends. Depends on the country. It really depends, because it
Mm.
seems friends in Ukraine. It was only a few months until they got back to concerts.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Mm.
they said, yeah, we had like a few months, and then since summer
Mm.
they are doing concerts, but not very big. Like the orchestras are
Mm.
not really big, but you see they have concerts, so they feel okay. My friends in China were really depressed. Um, they didn't have a concert probably from until this tour that they did in December.
Mm.
That was their first concert, and a little concerts before the tour. So they were very in a bad situation over there. Financially, they just they didn't know what they're gonna do. States, yeah, I've been talking to them too. I mean, it's been on and off for
Mm.
them. Most of them are still studying.
Oh,
So
okay.
they were talking to me about how they were studying at CIM, Cleveland Institute of Music,
Mm.
a lot by Zoom. The not the instruments,
Mm.
not the instrument lessons, but like
Mm.
the theory, etc., was by Zoom. And the lessons were until I want to say until this semester, the fall semester, they didn't really do it. They didn't do anything because
Mm.
they needed time to
Oh,
get
okay.
ready
Yeah.
and all the preparation in the room and not get close, etc.
So
Um,
did you do some concerts over the summer?
Over the summer, we had a klezmer festival in Israel, which I
Mm.
didn't anticipate, but they called me and they talked to me and can you do the orchestra, the klezmer orchestra, which is not really an orchestra, it's more like a ad hoc of all the students who were there.
Yeah.
It's kind of for youth, so it was very young. I mean, not very young, but young players,
Mm.
not very professional. Just a festival to just have some activities with them. So that was mostly my summer, but flying was impossible, so you can't
Mm.
really go anywhere. So that was pretty much my summer. Two
Mm.
weeks in the beginning of August and 1 week in the beginning of September,
Mm.
just before the lockdown. We were quite
Mm.
lucky with that.
But many
And
artists say when they go back after this time where they couldn't do anything and then, you know, go and play in an orchestra or just perform, even if it was a small concert, did you feel anything different? Was it a bit of a emotional moment for you when you could stand there again in front of the orchestra?
yeah, it was kind of. I mean, the first time after that was 5 months, I didn't conduct anything.
Mm.
It was kind of yeah, just well, actually,
Yeah.
it took a few minutes. It took a few moments for me to just get back to it.
Oh, is
uh,
it?
yeah, it's just not that I forgot how to conduct, but like how
Mm.
to just motivate players and just be there.
Yeah.
That was kind of I wouldn't say emotional. It's not for me. I'm not an emotional guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So more emotional, but
Mm.
maybe with a real orchestra, maybe it will be. But
Mm.
that was kind of just for fun, and I think the being with young players also it was kind of nice. But it was very relaxed and not
Mm.
not so much. Oh, we
Yeah.
gotta get a good concert.
Mm.
But it was really fun to just do music again.
Yeah.
And
How did you start in music? Could you come from a musical family?
no, not so much.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I actually am the only. We are three brothers and sisters,
Mm.
and I'm the only one who got out as a musician.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, my family is my dad he loves music. He loves classical music.
Mm.
He loves it. So he's the one who was putting classical music CDs in the morning.
Mm.
That's back in the 90s. Yeah, I was born in
Oh,
94.
okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was still even tapes. Yeah, he was making for me some tapes to put in my Discman.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I was
Mm.
8 or 9 or something. But in France, I got pretty early to the piano, around six,
Mm.
7, and then also the local conservatoire of
Mm.
the district, and we did solfège, etc., etc. And around 9, I started clarinet,
Mm.
which was for me until around 25 or something like that. I continued with the clarinet until I was in France and in Israel,
Mm.
both academies, in preschool, in pre-academy and
Mm.
academy also. Orchestras, I was an orchestra player for a few during my bachelor and after my bachelor.
Also clarinet.
Clarinet, yeah,
Yeah.
clarinet.
And the piano, where does that come in?
Piano was just, yeah, got took out a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I never really, I mean, I still play the piano a lot now, but
Mm,
because clarinet was pushed out a little bit.
mm,
Um, but piano then was just like, just for
mm.
fun, not
Okay.
really playing
But
and
did you
learning in the future, yeah.
did you grow up in France?
Until I was 12.
Okay, and then moved to Israel.
Then moved to Israel, to Jerusalem,
Oh,
with my
okay,
family.
with your parents.
Yeah.
And
Um,
mm,
yeah. And then at 25, I just, after I did my bachelor and played a few
mm,
years in orchestras, I just decided, I wanted something more, something different.
mm.
And conducting seemed pretty fun. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I did a few lessons before. In the academies, there's always, introductory for conductor, for
Mm,
conducting, for players, etc. And it was, yeah, it was very fun. My teacher always said you might have a good career if you continue with this. So,
oh, that's wonderful.
I tried
Yeah,
it. Yeah, I
yeah.
did another bachelor.
Mm,
It went pretty well, and that's it. Went to a master, and then yeah, won a small competition 4 years ago in
mm,
Ukraine. So got me a few concerts
mm.
and festivals also.
And when did it start for you? That's when did that feeling that this is what I want to do? I'm going to be a musician.
Oh, musician.
Yeah.
Um, it didn't really happen like in one moment. I don't think it's happened in one moment. I knew after I've done my army service, I was 21, I finished my army service. I was 21, and I kind of knew I wanted to continue with the clarinet. My parents
Mm,
were not very happy about it.
yeah.
My mom was like, "Oh, you should do also mathematics with something
Mm,
like that. You're good with that." And I
mm,
said, I wanted only clarinet, so I had a lot of friends who were musicians. So I mean, it's not like it came out of the
mm,
blue or something.
yeah.
But I didn't know. I thought I would be maybe something like more of a, you know, not a professional or,
Mm,
I didn't think I'm gonna be a very talented clarinet player. I
mm,
wasn't the best of my class or anything like that. But I that's what I wanted to do. So
mm,
I didn't know which direction I'm gonna go. And but
mm. So
around
what?
around the army, yeah, after the
Mm,
army, you start and then you decide. But really, the real moment I wanted to be, it's only after I started conducting.
okay. And
Yeah,
what
only
is
when
it
I
about
started.
conducting?
Um, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, but I just feel home. It's very hard to
Mm,
explain. But when I was on the podium in front of players, I just felt really comfortable.
mm,
What I couldn't say about playing the clarinet, even in a small hall to my friends, I never felt really like a fish in the sea. It's like
mm,
I had kind of a stage fright, you can say,
mm,
when I was playing clarinet. Am I gonna have a good sound? Oh, this is hard to get. The note is not gonna come out
mm,
well, etc. Oh, a lot of thoughts, you know.
mm,
But as soon as I got on the podium with conducting and conducting friends and conducting the school orchestra, etc., etc., I never had this stage fright. Actually, I never have now stage
mm.
fright while conducting. So
So
I
you
thought,
know it's you, yeah, you know this is
yeah,
what you
he's
have
right.
to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, he's right.
yeah. And tell me what did you do apart from all this? This is always interesting for me to know what you did apart from all this rigorous practicing and routine. Did you bake or did you do
I
some
always
gardening or something?
Well, we don't have a garden.
Okay.
My family and I, we did started to pick up a little hobby of doing puzzles together.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I still do on the weekends. I take a
Mm,
few hours out of everything and just do some puzzles,
mm,
which take a few hours.
mm,
Um, I do have, I mean, it's not my main profession, but I am an editor also of music. So for composers,
Mm.
and people who come to me and they want this score to be edited or copied from the
Oh,
very
okay.
beginning.
Mm.
I work with Finale, so I have a few connections with few composers. During that time, it also kept me a
Mm.
little bit busy. In the last few months, it actually came a lot more and more because it's actually
Mm.
there is nothing to conduct, so it actually started to be kind of my main profession now.
Mm.
Which I just finished a project with Frédéric Chazelin, if you know him.
Mm-mm, no, I don't.
He's actually a conductor in the Wiener Staatsoper.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Frédéric Chazelin is conducting all the a lot of French operas all the time.
Mm.
So he's been doing a reduction of Tosca for Brussels Opera,
Mm.
and we've been doing this for like the last 2 months. We just finished it now, so
Mm.
I've been editing this,
Mm.
uh, which is a lot of work.
Oh,
Parts,
okay.
score, etc. Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Um,
Um, yeah.
yeah. Do you also have this idea or this feeling that artists are not valued in this time? Or
Oh, definitely,
mm.
definitely. It's just like people don't have, they can't, they just need to have maybe a week or two without music or without television or without anything. Just
Mm.
take them out of it and they'll get crazy. I mean, it's nobody understands that. It's really gets me crazy all the time.
Mm.
Like we always have discussions of why is the government even funding orchestras, or they should stop funding orchestras, they should stop funding museums, they should stop.
Mm.
Just gets me crazy.
Mm.
What do we need it for? Why do we need an orchestra? Why do we need to spend money on culture?
Mm.
Um, that's nothing new. And
Mm.
actually, you can see it now. It's nothing new, and you see that culture is not really not important. Nobody cares about that. We are the first one to be closed when there is a quarantine. We are the last one to be open when everything opens up.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure Vienna is not better,
Mm-mm.
even though you had concerts. I suppose I've seen you had concert, but the New Year concert, I think, did it happen
It happened without an audience.
without an audience?
Mm.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you have flights, you have buses working, trains.
Mm.
What I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So obviously, yeah, and I don't think it's only in Israel. I think it's even in
Yeah.
the
This is
most
what.
cultural
Yeah.
places.
This is what I was wanting to ask you. Is how is it specifically in Israel?
It's it has always been very hard because the government doesn't even fund a lot.
Mm.
They give funding for about 0.3% of the annual how do you say um, money,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so from all the fundings from everything they give about 0.3, which is ridiculous. Like I
Yeah.
know in Europe it's around 1%, even if it's in Italy or something, it's always about zero point 0.8 or 1% or something.
Mm.
So the funding has always been pretty low,
Mm.
and even the political situation right now is completely absurd,
Mm.
really absurd. Like we don't have a budget for around
Mm.
3 years already because all the governments that we had couldn't form uh, a coalition. It
Mm.
was impossible. And now we had a government for about 6 months, and now we have elections again.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
we have elections again in
Yeah.
about a month. So everything is just going backwards right now.
Mm.
Um, I do know that culture is supposed to open next week. Concerts, theaters, museums,
Mm.
etc. That's what they say. I want to
Mm.
see it happens, because I don't.
Yeah. And are your
Music
shops already open
shops, yeah. I mean,
and restaurants?
restaurants, not so much.
Mm.
I would say mostly shops and malls.
Mm.
Restaurants, it's always takeaway or by
Oh, yeah.
delivery.
Yeah. Mm.
No, the restaurants really suffered a lot, and
Mm.
they had like a month or two of they could open, but only with like 50% of the of of capacity.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but culture basically never did. They only do concerts on video, and they just
Yeah.
print them on Facebook or something. No audience, at least since February,
Mm,
March. I want to say March, except for maybe a month or two in May and June,
mm.
and that's it.
Um,
So
I'm I'm asking everybody about the education of music or music education, not just music, but also art education in schools. If that might be a solution for us and for artists, that the problem is where the cuts were generations, previous generations, the cuts were made in art in schools. Now there's art doesn't feature anymore, and this also now creates this generation of politicians who don't understand the importance of art, and also audiences, that that there's no new audiences coming, and that I have this feeling that when we educate children and make art as much as an important subject as maths and science, that people would understand more and value more, and that children would have the capability and the skills to do all the other subjects as well. And I think now that we are really faced with health issues during this pandemic, that we have to think about the value of art also for our well-being.
definitely, I think everything that goes on right now, at least in my country, that you can see people deteriorating completely.
Mm,
The children, completely, and it's because of there is no art. I'm sure completely there's obvious connection
mm,
between the kids getting completely addict to phones, to screens, to just, and they're just backing down. Just they get inside themselves. It's all because of that. There's no culture. There's no concert. Not even, I don't care what type of music they listen to, or they go to
yes.
a concert. They have to go to some kind of theater. In Hanukkah, we always have this kind of musicals
Mm,
uh, that kids go to. It never happened. It
mm,
was at home. There was all screened on some channel or something. And I'm really sure that it's going to be very hard to get back to where we were. And in
mm,
Israel, it's, I mean, there are some ages, some classes, some levels,
yeah.
like I think between the age of 13 and 16, or 12 and 16, that haven't been in a single room, in a classroom for at least 7 months, eight
Wow.
months. And I
Yeah.
know my nephews and nieces,
Yeah.
you can see it. They're just on their phone all the time,
Mm,
not going out of the room. I mean, my sister, she just get crazy to get them out of the house,
mm,
and they don't have any culture, anything. I mean, I do teach my little niece some piano lessons once a week, so she does have some kind of,
mm,
at least I'm trying to do something for my nieces. But
mm,
I mean, in all Israel, it's going to take a lot of time to get back kids to art, which
mm.
shouldn't be very hard, because art for them is just a great way for expressing themselves. This is basically the
Exactly.
only way
Mm,
they express themselves, by drawing, by dancing, by
mm,
playing, even if it's not an instrument, or just drums, whatever, it doesn't
mm.
matter.
And
Uh,
also the development of the brain when they do these art forms.
yeah,
And now
it's
that you've told me
the
that,
whole
you,
generation.
yeah, you had the piano to play during this time. You had the music that you studied, and you studied languages.
Yeah,
So you were self-motivated, and this is what I see all over when I speak to artists. They are very much self-motivated, very positive outlook on things, And this is, even if you think of that, can that not be the greatest advantage that we give our children when they go to school? That when they leave school, they at least have self-motivation, they have work ethic that they've learned from practicing and learning an instrument, for example, or whatever art form they do, but that we make that really an important subject in the schools, and not just Friday afternoon, 1/2 hour, a little bit of singing, but really a credible subject.
Yeah, no, I agree, definitely. I mean,
Mm.
I really, all the kids that play an instrument before and they started to play an instrument before, at least they had something to do, you know, they had,
Yeah.
and kids to parents who are musicians also, because
Mm.
they get to see parents day and day and day practice and practice and practice, and it's a good example for the kids to, you know, to do something every day. I mean,
Mm.
practicing is basically, I always tell my students, practicing is like brushing your teeth.
Mm.
You don't do it one day and your teeth is going to look really bad. And if you don't do it for a week,
Mm.
something is going to fall off. So just you have to practice every day. Otherwise, it's just a routine. You have to get
Mm.
used to it. And I'm sure that kids who play instruments had a better dealing with this pandemic than kids who didn't play anything,
Yeah.
because they have a routine, they have something that keeps them going, you know.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully, yeah, hopefully the level of the playing didn't get worse during
Yeah.
the pandemic, and when the kids come back to the conservatory, they're gonna need a year or two of getting back to themselves. But
Yeah.
I do see a lot of. I have some teachers who shows the students playing piano or playing instruments, etc.
Mm.
Looks like everything is going well, but it depends on the teacher. If you have a
Mm.
really strong teacher who doesn't get let the kids do whatever they
Mm.
want, I
Yeah,
don't think
man.
it's edible.
Yeah, but if you think also previously, I mean, if I think when I grew up, we sang a lot more. You know,
Hmm.
just on in our home, or even I sang to my children when they were little.
Hmm.
Um, when I tucked them into bed, I would sing to them, but it came from that I knew all the nursery rhymes, all these songs, and I
Yeah.
I think almost now I don't know if parents how much also in schools do
Singing.
children do this, and sing, and how many children
Which
know
is the
all these
simplest,
old, yeah,
yeah, which is the simplest thing to do. Just sing. If
yeah,
you don't need an instrument, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to just sing. You know,
to
it's very
sing,
simple. It's
yeah,
like dancing. It's like drawing. You don't need to.
yeah,
Actually, singing is actually even simpler than drawing because you don't need a paper. You don't need anything. Just can
exactly, yeah,
sing.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's really important. I mean, choirs. In Israel, we do have like a yearly choir of school choirs,
mm,
meetings every year. They come to this hall and they sing everybody, and it's kind of sweet.
mm,
Um, but I mean, we do like to sing, and of course there are all these reality shows, etc.
mm.
Everybody thinks they can be a superstar or something.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah,
no, we do like to sing in Israel. I think
mm.
it's kind of also in Judaism. We like to sing in the synagogue, and we have a lot of
Oh,
songs.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of inside the culture of the Judaism. But
yeah,
I don't know how much people sing at home, but
yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
it's a wonderful culture that you have to sing. Yeah.
yeah. Well, in synagogue we sing all the time, and
Mm,
Jewish songs, of course, there are a lot of them. Of course, it's
mm,
on a lot of verse of the Bible there is
mm.
sometimes
So,
even two or three melodies different.
mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's great.
hopefully people
Yeah,
sing at home.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so what is your wish for when this is all over?
Oh, um, I wish just I mean, as soon as I'm not gonna say meeting all my friends because we've been doing this already, but
Yeah. Yeah.
just go back to flying. Just I want to go
Mm,
back to outside of Israel because all most of my activity is there.
mm,
So probably go fly to Italy and China.
mm,
Um, Hopefully, I will be able to do it already in. I mean, there are some things that might happen March,
mm,
April, but again, it depends on the day-to-day, flight conditions, etc.
mm.
And so hopefully June, yeah, June summer, we will be able
You do
to
it
fly,
again. Mm,
yeah, go to festivals, start conducting again. It's
mm,
not only conducting, it's just I don't. It's fine. I mean, I'm not. My career will go on. My career, I know my career is on stop right now, but
mm,
at some point it will start over.
mm,
It's just to get the life again. It's just
mm,
it's not all about only doing my job. It's just going to concerts, going to meeting friends, and talking with everybody,
mm,
meeting at concerts, etc., etc. Going to festivals,
mm.
flying, being free to go wherever I want.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
also this is what we don't understand about artists. Even I spoke to an author, and he said that even though he writes the book, the part that he enjoys the most is the contact with the readers. When he has these
Mhm.
little talks
Oh,
and about his book, and the readers react, or they come and the book signing or so. So I think in art, of course, that's the part, that's that feedback or the contact, and not necessarily the feedback, but the contact, I think,
yeah.
with your
Yeah, with the
audience.
audience. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, obviously. I mean, the music is only the first part of the concert.
Mm,
Then you have to, and it's actually the most fun part, is actually to see
mm,
people and tell you how they like this part of the concert and how this part was actually the first time they went to a concert. They know this music because it was the first thing they ever listened to in a concert.
yeah.
And oh, this was my first ever concert of music or of
Mm,
classical music. I never thought I would like opera. I went to this
yeah.
those kind of remarks that you get from the audience, and even just talking with before and after concert and meeting with players, talking
Mm,
with players, new connections with people.
mm,
It's not, it's the conducting is fun and it's great to
mm,
do music, but at the end it's just part of it. It's not the
mm,
whole thing.
mm. I
And even
spoke.
going to concerts is just also a way to get to meet people.
Yeah. I spoke to a cellist, and he said that uh, for him, it's this. I asked him about the applause.
Mm-hmm.
If he, if the how it affects him, and he said no, that it's more for him. This one person who comes up and says, tonight I really didn't want to come, but I'm so glad I'm here because this really touched me. And
Yes.
he said that's the thing that drives him.
I mean, applause by now, yeah. I mean, for me also, applause by now are just, you know, the normal thing that you get.
Mm,
It's just for, like, it's a civil way to say
a
wonderful,
gratitude. Yeah.
congrats.
Mm,
Yes, just gratitude. It's just normal.
mm,
I'm not, it's, I mean, if applause are fine, standing ovation is even more better, but sometimes
mm,
even standing ovation, when I was in Cleveland, and I went to the Cleveland Orchestra, there was never a concert that didn't finish in standing ovation.
mm,
So if all concerts finish with a standing ovation, what is the worst of the standing ovation? It cannot
mm,
be every concert, and
yeah.
not all the concerts were this fantastic. I mean, some were
Mm,
okay, some were really fantastic, but some
mm,
were good, just good,
mm,
not amazing. So standing ovation is fine also, but again, it's
mm,
only for I don't take it as a mark that my concert was fantastic.
yeah.
My
Yeah.
if I really got something like the cellist said that someone came and come
Mm,
and say, "Oh, this concert I that was amazing. You made my day.
mm,
I had a bad day today, and then I came to the concert all." nervous and and that this
Yeah.
concert made me more calm or something like that. And
Mm.
yeah, this is what is it's all for.
Yeah.
Yeah, applause is fine.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Another thing that I also thought about was that I wonder if uh, also from the artist side, that if we knew more about um, your work, your the music, and how like these insights that you talk about. If for example, I met the artist at their homes during this difficult time, but also in
Mhm.
their windows, and I realized many times that in normal circumstances nobody would have allowed me to do that, but this if I had asked
Yeah.
that, nobody would probably allow
Nobody
me.
would come out from the window. Okay.
Yeah. Or they would say, yes, come to my window and take a picture.
Because
But
they need
because of
some
this,
kind of, yeah,
th-
I'm pretty sure they needed to show, hey guys, I'm still here, I'm still alive,
exactly,
I
yeah.
still exist.
But in this process, I saw a different side to the artist that you normally see. So normally I would see you in a frock and in front of the audience. Um, and this made me really, and not, I wouldn't say I understand everything, because of course I'm not a musician and I don't know the music industry, but this gave me really an insight into the fact that your lives are very much occupied by art. um, and and I have this idea that if we knew more um, about this, then also that would bring a different appreciation, not just for the music, but so the art is one appreciation, but there should also be the appreciation of the artist.
Yeah. I think people don't understand that I get up and I go to bed as an artist. I mean, I'm
Mm,
not, when I get up in the morning, there's always a little melody in my head. And when I go to bed, there's always a melody in my head. And during the whole day, I sing to myself stuff that I'm working on or stuff that just pop out in my head. There's not there. I mean, there's not a lot of professions that you get up in the morning and you go to bed as the profession that you are.
yeah,
If you work, I don't know, electricity or government or something, you don't always see yourself as this. But I mean, for us, it's kind of it's a symbiotic. It's just one thing. We're not this or that. We're just, I mean, at one
yeah,
day I'm Gaddi and the other day I'm an artist. When I go to the orchestra, it's not that one day suddenly I'm an artist, but after the concert is done, I'm not an artist anymore.
yeah,
And I think a lot of people don't understand that this is
mm,
actually, this is our life. I mean, it's not, we don't we don't separate things.
mm,
It's not, I don't separate things. I'm always an artist. Even when I go to a restaurant, I always have something in my head. I
mm,
always think about something or try to figure out something that I'm not sure about or something.
mm,
So it's hard to explain sometimes to people
mm,
that as artists you're not, I mean, you are a human being, of course,
yeah,
but it takes all your time and it takes all your brain and it takes everything.
yeah. But
It's
this is why I think I wonder if, because our perception of you, as I say, in concert dress, on the stage, and it looks
yeah,
all so
it
glamorous,
looks,
and it,
yeah, it's
now in
not.
this time people think, oh, but they're fine, they've got this glamorous life, so they probably fine. And now when we talk
Well,
about this is why
some,
I'm also want
I
to
mean,
talk about this, is that,
yeah,
yeah,
it's not a glamorous life. It's a
mm,
hard life of hard work
mm,
every day. It's like like an athlete basically.
mm,
We have this work ethic. We go up, we get up, and we go to the piano, we go to the instrument, and we start practicing every day, 6 hours. Um, Sometimes some people even work from morning to evening, which I
mm,
personally I'm not one of them. But this is everything we do, like from morning to evening. This is really not
mm,
glamorous, and we don't live in palaces.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
we have our little. I mean, some people do. I mean, some people are really famous and they
Mm,
have amazing houses, and congratulations to them. But most of us, we don't. You know, for us,
mm,
it's just this is what we are. We go up and
mm,
we do the work every morning, every day.
mm,
It's not glamorous. I don't
mm.
understand. I mean, we do have this tail, you know,
Yeah.
jacket, etc. But
Yeah.
you know, it's just formality.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Some people even don't like it anymore because it, I mean, it scares away the audience sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Mm.
I do like it because it's kind of a, for me, it's always an event to
Yeah.
conduct an orchestra. For me,
Yeah.
it's a really important event.
Mm.
And it's for me, it's a great way of appreciation of the orchestra to
Mm.
show them that I wear something special,
Mm.
something that I don't wear. I do wear jackets during the rehearsals, etc. But this kind of jacket is special only for them. So for me, it's kind
Yeah.
of a way to show appreciation of the.
Mm.
If it scares audience, I think it scares audiences anymore. And I think it's important for the conductor to go to the audience and not the audience to go to the conductor after
Mm.
the concert.
Mm.
So that the conductor should, at the end of the concert, go to the hall or go, don't not staying in his room and wait for everybody to come. This is
Mm.
a little bit elitist, I think. It's a good thing for the conductor to just go out of his room, go out to
Mm.
the corridor or to the entrance of the artist entrance or something like that, and just go and see the audience, you know, and say
Mm.
to them, thank you for coming. I mean, even
Yeah.
thank you for coming, because it's not even you can't take that for granted anymore.
Yeah. Well,
That
that's
people
a wonderful, yeah, that's a wonderful thing that you do when you do that, because I think that's really also for the audience wonderful to,
I think the audience
you know,
wants more than they want to. I mean, I don't know if everyone wants, but the
mm,
one who do want to see the players and say thank you to the and see the conductor, talk to him.
mm,
Some people even sometimes they want to ask you, what do you think about this aria? What do you think about? They
mm,
actually want to know more things about the opera or the symphony
mm,
they just heard. Um, I mean, yeah,
yeah,
it's very important to keep audience coming back also.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had this thought, actually, when in the summer I saw a lot of students from MDV and I don't know, other universities where they played in the streets and also in the parks more than you used to see.
Obviously.
In Vienna, you see the normal, you know, the normal street performers, but I recognize some of the students because I photographed them, so I did
Oh, okay.
recognize them. But
Hmm.
I kind of like that, you know. I like the fact that they were on the street playing because they were in jeans and t-shirts and um, um, it looked a lot of fun. It looked the interaction between them also, and what they played were very popular classical pieces. And of course, people who walk by and then stop. I think that is a way to connect also with new audiences or with younger audiences. You know, young people
Yeah.
children
It's
who
funny.
not necessarily have this contact or this opportunity. You know.
It's funny that the only thing that scares people out of concert halls is the dressing, is
Mm,
how you. I mean, this is really it's funny because if all the orchestra was wearing jeans and t-shirts in the
mm,
concert, might be everybody even younger audience would come.
mm,
I mean,
mm,
this is it's so funny. I mean, it is event, so you don't have to dress. I mean,
mm,
people think they have to dress papillon and everything for the opera.
mm,
It's ridiculous. It's funny
mm,
sometimes people say to me, "Do I have to come with a jacket?" No, you
mm.
don't. It's just you come
You
however you
have to
want.
come.
The
Mm,
orchestra just dress because it's an event, so you dress. I
yeah.
mean, we are still we're not even in pop. I mean, they do dress, they do
Mm,
choose the way they're gonna go on stage. I mean, it's not
mm,
they do choose I mean, it's never the same. But people really, and there are singers who really dress. I mean, they are
mm,
like even if it's not a papillon, etc. It's really
Mm.
expensive dresses and expensive, and they change dresses every 2 minutes after every song.
Yeah.
So people do dress to concert. The performers do. This is the way we dress, but you don't
Yeah.
have to. It's funny that for young people, uh, this is why classical music doesn't appeal to them because
Mm.
the way we dress,
Mm.
it's really stupid.
Yeah.
But it might be important for orchestras, and they do it. I'm sure they do a lot of jeans concerts
Mm.
happen all the time. Jeans and
I
beers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just thought in this, I just thought for this, for them playing in the street, that also the you walk close by, yeah, it's a meter distance, and then it's also this thing for people who don't know the music, that contact, there's all the senses, that you hear it, that you see it, and that there's some sort of
Sure.
familiarity or a comfortable feeling with it, and that would make them
No, it's true.
inquisitive to
It's
go to
important.
concerts, even if they have to dress up then, because I kind of
Important.
like that we have to dress, or that you
I
dress up for
see.
a concert. I think
Yeah.
it's it's something
It,
special, and I think it's nice to dress up. But I'm just
I think
thinking that,
the whole idea of, I mean, I can understand why opera has to be this way, but for
mm,
orchestra, it might be important to, in some halls, it's like that the orchestra is in the middle of the hall
mm,
and not here and
oh yeah,
everybody on this side.
mm,
Some halls have started to do that, like the Boulez Saal in Berlin.
mm,
But and there are halls but in the US it doesn't exist. But
mm.
in Germany you have people behind the orchestra,
Oh,
and
okay.
so people
Mm,
are basically, I mean, in Germany,
mm,
in the most of the halls, they are around.
mm,
US doesn't exist. I know in the Wiener Philharmoniker it doesn't exist also.
mm,
But I think it's a good idea to get people around the orchestra and not
mm,
the orchestra is here, you are on the other side.
mm.
Of course, it's very hard now with very historical halls to do that.
Yeah.
But if you build a new hall, I think it's something to consider
Mm, yeah.
to put the orchestra in the middle and not.
Yeah.
Also, but this is actually it's fun because it's funny because pop concerts, the audience is not around the performer.
No, no.
So why is it important for people? I mean, I understand the thing that they want to
Yeah.
get close to the.
I think it's
But
that they don't know it's this
yeah,
classical
no, I
music
understand
has
that. But
this. Yeah,
everything people say about classical music is also true for pop,
yeah,
and to get after a concert, if you go to the Rolling Stones or whatever, you will never see the Rolling Stones back after the backstage.
yeah,
It's impossible to see them. I
yeah,
mean, if you go to something famous. But in the contrary, if you go to a concert of Muti or I don't know, whoever it is,
mm,
or Tilson Thomas or every big conductor you have, you can see them after the concert. It's
mm,
very approachable. Actually, I
mm,
think classical music, if any,
mm,
is much more approachable for the
mm.
audience
Yeah, that's a
after
good
the concert
point. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah.
than pop music or
Mm,
rock music or.
mm.
I mean, as long as it's very in the when I'm talking about very famous rock
Yeah,
players
yeah,
or very famous, classical
yeah,
music
yeah. Yeah, that's
because
a really good point that you're making. Yeah.
non-famous is always easy to get to approach.
Mm,
Non-famous always want to get approached,
yeah,
but if you go to very famous, yeah,
yeah.
classical music is much better
Mm.
in this
In this
aspect.
situation, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, that would really be my wish, that there's a change in the education, that children um,
Um,
get educated, and also that people understand the musicians, and appreciate, not just the musicians but all the artists, um, so that we because I think it's a very important part of our lives, the
It
art.
is. I
Yeah.
think the art is everything. I mean, why do you go to the museums when you
Mm,
go touristing? When
yeah.
you're a tourist in a city, why do you go to the museums? Why do
Mm,
you go to everything, the which is all the arts places?
yeah.
if you go to see the Eiffel Tower, it's an art exhibition. If
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
go to the anything, the Arc de Triomphe, if you go to New York,
Mm,
you go to the big museums, you go to the opera, you go. So why, when you're touristing, you want to see all the arts, but in
mm,
your own country, it's not important. You don't care about
yeah.
it.
But also, I think what I've always also thought about was that um, all these big cities use the art to promote their cities. So in many of the online sort of what to do in my city or whatever,
Yeah,
you always find the theaters or the art galleries or so. So they use the arts to promote the city, yet um, now in the
yeah,
time where they should support these artists and the art forms, they don't.
yeah,
And I think especially in a city like Vienna, and this is what really made me do this project, or fueled me to carry on with this project, was that shop owner said to me that lockdown was over because the shops and restaurants were open. And I was thinking, but the shops and restaurants won't stay open for very long if Vienna's theaters don't open, because the theaters really bring a lot of revenue, I think, to the city. I don't have the numbers, but I can
yeah,
just imagine if I've read there that 10,000 people per night visit the theaters in Vienna on a in normal times.
yeah.
So that's a lot of, I think that's a lot of
No, yeah,
mm,
yeah.
movement
No,
in the
Vienna is.
city.
I mean,
Mm,
for me, Vienna is basically one of the. It's the, with a
mm,
big T, the
mm,
cultural city. I mean,
mm,
and every city basically. I mean, what specializes a city is its arts.
mm,
It's the buildings, it's the
exactly.
museums,
Mm,
it's the theaters. This is what makes
mm,
it. I mean, restaurants, it's everywhere the same. There's no
mm,
way there's a restaurant that you say, oh, I have to go to the city because of this restaurant. Okay,
mm,
so you can go to
mm.
another city and find
Yeah,
maybe also a good restaurant. I mean,
yeah,
but there is no other place you can go to the Louvre.
yeah,
Where are you going to go to the Louvre? There's
yeah,
no other place. Where are you going to go to Wiener Staatsoper? There's no other place.
yeah,
Um,
that's
so
true.
really, it's funny that the people don't understand that
Mm,
after everything you do, after everything you have done, the only thing that stays after you are gone from this world is
mm,
the art,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
it's so obvious. I mean, the
Mm,
Beatles are dead, and everybody still plays their songs. Why?
mm, mm,
Why are the Beatles remembered? I mean, do people remember all the presidents of the United States?
mm.
No. But they do know all the songs by the Eagles or by Queen or by
Yeah,
whatever pop or rock, you know, group you can name.
yeah.
Why is that? It's very
Mm,
simple because this is what stays after. This is the legacy of a culture after it's gone.
yeah.
It's the art and the culture. It's very simple, and people don't
That's
realize that.
that's
Schools don't
very
realize
true.
that,
Yeah.
you know.
That's very true. Yeah.
And yeah, we have to make leaders understand that. I think leaders do understand that, but it's
Mm,
very hard for them to to just get things done. And
mm,
sometimes it's just we're wasting time on this.
mm,
The more we go without culture, it's another year. We're not
mm.
gonna get back.
Yeah. But well, maybe if we start talking about that more, and I also believe in energy. So I think if we talk about solutions and we talk about these positive things, then you never
Solutions
know.
start. The only solution is education, like you said.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
starts
Yeah,
at school. It starts
exactly.
at school.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that will get
Mm,
everything goes forward.
yeah.
We have to think. I mean, we have to think about the next generation, and we
Mm,
have to start uh, teaching them about. Doesn't
mm,
matter which art, they can choose which one they want.
exactly. Yeah.
But doing, even if it's not in a professional level,
Mm,
drawing, dancing, singing, playing,
100%. Yeah.
even amateur level doesn't matter. It's very
Mm,
important for your own well-being. And
mm,
starting to do that and get them used to do it at school, It's
Mm.
basically the only thing that will save culture and arts. There's
I
nothing.
believe that. Yeah. No,
You can
I
fund
yeah,
as much as you
100%
want
believe that.
orchestras. You can
Mm.
fund orchestras by millions and billions and billions. Doesn't matter.
Mm.
You have to teach the. You have to teach. You have to get it done for because it's supposed to be. I mean, and anyways, they don't really need to be taught to do art. They want to do art. This is what is
Mm.
most crazy. The all the schools need to do is not stop the children to do art.
Mm.
This is the only thing because right now they just stop them. They
Mm.
kind of let them. They tell them no, you don't need art. It's fine. You can do chemistry and physics, and that will
Mm.
you get fine. But the students they want the children they want to do art. This
Mm.
is what is crazy that you don't even have to do anything. You just have to let them do it,
Yeah.
and then you will have art everywhere, and you will have a new generation that appreciate art.
Mm.
Because it's basically it's in them. It's in the children already when they go to schools. They are artists.
Mm.
They like to draw everything.
Yeah.
Every time they have some time for free, they want paper and they want to draw something.
And
What is
yeah,
that
and
if not art? It's
yeah.
art. They want to express themselves by art. They dance when they are just children.
Mm.
They like to dance. Why is that?
Mm.
This is why this is how they show that they are happy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Singing,
yeah.
everything. So really, my point is that um, the the basic is there. So the
Yeah.
kids already want to do art. The only
Yeah.
thing the education in every country needs to do is just let them do art.
Yeah. And
Just
also we have so many musicians who can teach art and music teachers
yeah,
that
this is
that
also I
I
mean
yeah.
teachers, yeah, but
Mm.
a lot of musicians like a lot of my friends they see like teaching music or like in a school not in a conservatory
Yeah.
like a less you
Oh
know
yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
little less like you're not really a good musician if you teach at a school
Oh,
and
I
not
see.
at the
Yeah.
conservatory of the city or
Mm.
which is I mean why you're
Yeah.
teaching art what does it
Yeah.
matter if you
Yeah.
want to be a teacher what does it matter if you actually it's more important because kids who go to the conservatory they already know they want to do that
Mm.
so you're not, I mean, you're just giving them better tools to be what they already want to do, you
Yeah.
know? If you go to a school, you are actually educating people for the next generation to go to your concerts in the concert hall.
100%.
So this is
Yeah.
even more important.
Yeah.
Um,
And that
but
motivating that child or that planting the seed in the child to
yeah.
uh, to become a musician also, because there's sometimes that I hear also it's in primary school where the teacher did something or did a music class or something, and the artist was then inspired and then went on to become an artist. So it's that young time, the young age where they get that inspiration from. That's so
Mhm.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
self-expression is very important for kids.
yeah,
They need to know how to express, and sometimes you can't express yourself in words.
yeah.
For kids, it's very hard sometimes to say what they want or what they feel.
Mm,
Sometimes the only way they can do it is with arts.
mm,
That's why arts should be, you know, very
yeah.
enhanced in school. That's that's really the
Well,
reason.
let's
I
hope.
hope it will happen. Yeah,
Yeah, I think something positive has to come out of this time, and maybe that would also be
hopefully.
something positive to come. Yeah. I
Yeah.
thank you
So,
so much for your time
thank
and
you.
all
No,
your
it's fun to
wonderful
talk.
insight and positive attitude. I That's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you for this talk. It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you enjoy it, and I hope that you can do your or the concerts would continue now that you have in March
I'm
or
sure they
planned
will
in,
at
in
some point.
April.
It's fine.
Um, and whenever you're around Vienna, you
Oh,
write to me and
I
we can go
really,
for a coffee.
yeah, definitely. I
Okay.
wanted to go to Vienna this year, but
Yeah.
I had plans to go to Vienna. I have a few friends there,
Mm.
and I just wanted to visit, but yeah. maybe next, as soon as it's possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll come. Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you if I'm coming.
Okay. That would be wonderful.
Sure.
Okay, so have a lovely evening
You too.
and
Thank
thank
you
you
for
very
the talk.
much.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.